Hey guys, made it back to the bench. Hope you're enjoying these kind of regular videos. Today's just a small walk. It's 1.5 miles up and back. It's really hot. I got myself a coffee. I am using my phone mic, so it might be a bit windy, but I couldn't be bothered bringing the headphones. I just wanted to enjoy the calmness of nature. I didn't want any banging trance music. I just wanted to relax and just have a little walk. This week, I have walked 42 miles from the Sunday to the Sunday. So, where are you guys from in the world? If you were to set off from your house and mark out 42 miles, maybe on Google Maps, what is the most interesting place I could walk to? Maybe you're in New York and 42 miles away is an interesting building. Maybe you're in Spain. I don't know. But yeah, I've been trying to keep up the walking. It's the first time my feet have felt good. And obviously this weather's been beautiful in England and I don't want to waste it because we don't get much sun. Now, today's topic might be a bit controversial. I'm just going to speak about it, whatever. I watched a video yesterday about a hotel in Newcastle where these people go in and they film basically illegal people in these hotels. Because in England, if you don't know, if you arrive in the country illegally, you get picked up, driven to the coast, put on a coach, and you get given a 5-star hotel, free accommodation, a free mobile phone, a free dentist, free NHS dentist. Yep, you get smokes, food. You get travel if they boot you out and you have to go to a new hotel. You get travel down there, you get looked after. And meanwhile, like, pensioners have had the food and heating bills cut. Don't get that. Pensions are being cut. Saving accounts are being cut. People that are disabled, people that have mental health, their benefits are being cut because they're not classed as ill enough. And it's just been getting crazy, right? And I watched this video and I've paid like £400 to fix my teeth because I haven't had an NHS dentist in forever. So I had to have some fillings redone that were done when I was a kid. These people are getting free dentist care, right, which is a joke. But then this guy snuck into this hotel, right, and he saw them all playing pool. And it was a massive hotel, all buffet laid on, all food laid on. And he swanned around, and then he found himself in like the middle of the hotel where there's this enormous room, massive room, full of pool tables, snooker tables, arcade machines, and they were all just playing on it. And I was thinking, right now where I live, if I wanted to go to a snooker club, I'd have to pay. There are no function rooms, there are no youth centres or anything like that. They all got shut down because it cost too much money. It wasn't seen as a viable investment. Now all of a sudden, you've got, kids, antisocial behaviour up the wazoo, people doing knife crime, all sorts. And these centres would be fantastic for these things to get people involved, playing snooker, playing darts, and all of that closed. I'd like to go and play a free game of snooker somewhere, but that's not possible. And it was just getting me irate, I'll be honest. It was getting me irate. And then I read some comment on Twitter about how there was a bloke in an office, like a factory, and he was on his lunch break, and he filmed his co-workers, and he said, "I challenge you to hear an English accent and an English word spoken." Now that's not racist, but that is bizarre that in England, in a factory, there was hundreds of people, there wasn't a single word of English or a single word spoken. Now the top comment was, that's because English people don't want the jobs, they're lazy, they're useless, and you should be thankful that they are doing the jobs. Now, on the one hand, you say yes, but when you think about it logically, it's actually exploiting the third world country, and it's in a way exploiting England. Because there's a reason Nike, there's a reason these big companies make their clothes in like Bangladesh, India, right, and all these places. It's because they can get cheap labour, because they will accept it, because their standards are lower. They don't know their own rights. They don't have as many rights, blah, blah, blah. And if you were to say, oh, Nike put all of their clothes in India and they make them all wherever in whatever cheap slave country, because English people don't want to make Nike clothes. That's not true. It's just the British want to be paid well enough to live a proper life. And I just thought it was really frustrating that, I don't have my own place. I don't have my own things. And they're getting them free and they're illegal. And I really don't understand it. And it's happening in all countries. I watched a video of a woman. She was in Spain, and she was walking along, and I'd say she was very, very moderately dressed. The only things showing were like her thighs and a bit of leg. And she's in Spain. Every guy, they're like slumped over in doorways, the type. And they're all whistling at her, they're all saying stuff in their language. She felt very uncomfortable. And I just don't get the culture. I don't get why I don't quite understand how, if I go to a pub, yeah, and I don't have my ID and they say, who are you? Are you 18? They wouldn't let me in if I didn't have ID. But I could get into the country and get a house for free. I watched, one thing that pissed me off was I worked at a local council for nearly 2 years, and everybody there said I was fantastic. I fixed a load of stuff, I did a load of stuff. They said I'd be brilliant at the job, go and apply for it. I applied for the job, didn't get the job. They gave the job to a young lad who was the son of the boss. And the next, so I applied, blah, blah, blah. A few weeks pass, I find out I haven't got it, someone else has got it. I go back in, I'm feeling a bit down, and he appears and he explains to me that he's never used a trackpad on a laptop before. Can he show me how to use one? And he doesn't know how to copy and paste. I'm not kidding you. He only ever uses a phone. And I had to train him up. And call it ego, call it whatever. I quit that day. I thought, what's the point? I thought, what is the point? I quit. I'm not training someone up that took my job, and is that incompetent. And it just made a mockery of me, to be honest. And I didn't like it. The reason I mention it is there was a guy ringing up LBC News, and he said that he had a Nigerian mother in England who made a fake care company. She made this fake care company, LLC. Then she said she needed carers. Obviously, England are obsessed at the moment with carers and healthcare and importing third world healthcare people. And they then came over sort of free of charge because we're carers, were coming to help ease the crisis of carers. They arrived, didn't do any care work. Immediately, then they put on their CVs that they'd done caring, they'd done this, done bank work. 4 of them, he said, have ended up in councils working. And some of them are working in banks. Some of them are working with children. We don't know who these people are, and I just thought it was really, really fucking irritating. When you see like Uber Eats now, you've got Uber Eats in your area, I presume DoorDash. Don't know what it's like near you, but everyone is just, let's be honest, a migrant or something like that. Never used to be like that. They arrive, they say nothing, incredibly unfriendly. Most of the time the order's cold, it's wrong. I don't do it anymore. I call it awful. I don't want someone that is illegal who I don't know who they are. I don't want them knowing my address. I don't want them knowing that I've got a little niece and nephew in my house. I don't want them near me. Call it terrible, but they're illegal. We don't know who they are. We don't know who they work for. There's no identification. I don't want that. That's protection of my own family. So, and they're just zipping about on these bikes that go 40 mile an hour. And why is that? Because the drivers of these companies, McDonald's, KFC, they won't say, oh, we've got loads of need for delivery drivers. Let's pay someone a really good wage, a living wage, and let's get them to deliver our food. Then loads of English people will deliver the food. No, they will make a service that is like able to be scammed. For example, I could now, you give my ID to one of these migrants, they could work on my behalf and I collect half their cash. That's what people do. And it's not because British people are lazy, it's because they want to be paid fairly, but they know there are other people now that won't. So they use these services like DoorDash, like Just Eat, like Deliveroo or whatever, right? And it's just not right. And going back to the point of the office with the people not speaking English, when these people are in the factories, like I say, The reason the factories aren't filled with the British people is because the boss owners and the companies know that they can get cheaper labour. It's not because British people don't want to do it. Like I say, I use the example of, are you trying to tell me that there are people in England that wouldn't sit and sew Nike clothes for a living wage? No, of course people want to make Nike clothes. It's not because they're lazy. It's not because they don't want to do the work. But it's far cheaper for that company to go to somewhere where they can basically do slave labour. I just think it's barbaric, man. I don't know how you feel about all this, but you've also got like Keir Starmer, man. Keir Starmer, like I say, cutting disabled people's benefits, and now he's saying, "Oh well, migrants have to learn English." He's actually doing it backwards, bro. He's saying people that are here legally need to learn English, but the illegal ones, now they don't have to learn English. I just think it's outrageous. I don't know about you. I've never spoke on this. I just think it's outrageous. They're not they're not families and children coming from a war-torn country and being like, "Thank you, Britain, you've saved us." They're literally just arriving on boats, throwing up gang signs, getting a packet of cigarettes, getting put in a hotel and living the life of luxury. I don't have accommodation. I think my mental health would be better if I lived in a hotel, away from family, new area, new job opportunities, but I can't afford to live in a hotel 24/7. I just think it's absolutely mental. The country's gone completely backwards. Completely backwards. We live like this area has no phone signal. We could invest in infrastructure to get 5G everywhere, fast internet everywhere. We're on an island. You're never 75 miles away from the sea. But here we are spending billions on people that are illegal. I don't understand it. I really, really don't get it. I don't get it at all. It just wound me up. I was on my walk and I was thinking about it. I was thinking about the price of food. I went to Asda, man. I spent £47 on a bit of shopping. I don't even think I got. I don't even think I got like 3 or 4 days' food. I got like nothing. And then I bought some chicken. I made a stir fry. Think about this, bro. I bought some chicken. It was shit chicken, man. I didn't really read the packet correctly. I just picked it up. It was £5. I was like, that'll be all right. When I looked at it, it was 50% chicken. I cooked it. It just tasted wrong. It was just not, like the texture's just weird and shit. And I didn't eat it. That were £5. Some peppers. They were like £2. I got some herbs. I got some soy sauce, some noodles. I got some green beans. It was about 11 quid of fucking ingredients, mate, for like one meal. You could go to Weatherspoons and have a hot meal cooked for you and a pint for 10 quid. The price of food is fucking ridiculous, mate. And they're getting free food. I just don't understand it. Is it like this in any other country? I know France has it like this, but are we just fucking idiots? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I'm gonna go finish my walk now before I end up getting cancelled on YouTube. But shit was pissing me off, man. Thanks for listening.